Hello, welcome to Puff Drink Talk podcast. President Xi is a dictator, according to Biden.
There you have it.
But he's coming anyway. He's coming to US.
He's here right now.
Yeah, my name is Hilton.
I'm Konrad.
I'm Andrea Schmidt.
And we will be talking about that and also smoking some cigars. We're just gonna show you quickly what the cigars are, and then we'll get on with the conversation. This is what we're smoking today. So it's the Alec Bradley Prensado and the Macanudo Inspirado Green. Very interesting cigars, and we're going to be doing review on those cigars together with the podcast, and we'll be posting the videos on the channel on the following week. Should we start with the cigars and then we get on with the conversation?
It's a tough one. It's a doozy of a topic, but yeah, let's start with some cigars first.
So the Chinese president wants to renegotiate with the U.S.
Well, let's save it after the cigars. Let's
Okay,
we need a cigar
no,
first
I'm
to
interested.
deal with this.
I'm interested. I
We need
want
cigars. We need more margarita.
Yeah, we'll be drinking some margarita. Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Cheers.
All right.
So good cigar.
How's the impression of the cigars?
It's really soft.
They're supposed to be a soft, smooth cigar.
Yeah.
That's a good one to get into. All right.
Biden and President Xi.
Xi. So it's all over the news. It happened the last couple of days. President Xi made his first appearance in a very long time, almost 30 years, 40 years actually, to the United States. So fun fact, actually he came over to the United States in the 80s, like 85, and he studied farming with people from Iowa, some farmers from Iowa. And it was really interesting because you had all of these big tech executives and CEOs wanted to meet President Xi, and he invited all of these farmers from Iowa to be with him. He kept calling them my old friends. So it was just really funny because you have some of the wealthiest Americans trying to, Elon Musk spent thousands of dollars, like $12,000 just to get an introduction.
Elon Musk want to be in everything.
He wants to be in everything.
Everything.
But then President Xi is like, hey, come on, these farmers from Iowa, like, come meet me, my old friends, like, come to San Francisco and meet me. So
he's trying to get sympathy with the farmers.
Hey,
That's
you know
different.
what? So far, this trip has just worked in his favor, in my opinion. The way that he has been saying all the right things to kind of ease the tensions between the two countries.
He had 30 years to practice, though.
Yeah, he went through a lot of U.S. presidents to see, like, okay, I'm going to say this and win over the public's view of things. So, but he flew into San Francisco. Ironically enough, which I thought was an interesting move, Governor Gavin Newsom was the first U.S. person to meet President Xi before Biden.
He's from which state? He's
California. He's the governor of California, Gavin Newsom.
He was the first one.
He was the first one. Gavin Newsom, just before President Xi came over, like a couple weeks ago, like a month ago, he went over to China and met with a lot of political figures. I don't know if he met President Xi or not, but I'm conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat time. I'm thinking Biden bows out and doesn't seek re-election to be president, and Gavin Newsom steps up.
Step up
And says, hey,
California.
I've already got the great connections with China.
So
Put me in, coach.
So Xi Jinping visit California. That might be the state he liked the most. No? The
Well,
state here.
California's the tech capital.
Tech capital.
Most companies.
It is the shortest flight from China, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah,
Well put.
He might not like to fly,
true.
so...
I'll just
It's
stop in
$11.
San. But of all and I was gonna say, and of all places, San Francisco. San Francisco. If you haven't been, it's a fantastic, beautiful city. It has gone downhill the past 20, 30 years to be a very dangerous, disgusting, just vile place. There was an app where you would actually, I forget the name of the app, but if you saw human shit on the ground, you would take a picture and say, hey, don't step here because some homeless person shit on the ground right here. And you would look at, it was so bad of just like human human feces and pee and everything, that they created an app to be like, don't come down the street, walk in the middle of the road, or don't use the sidewalk, stay away from this area because it's so bad. But because President Xi showed up, it's crazy how all of the homeless people just disappeared. All of the graffiti just disappeared. All of the rundown, boarded up businesses that had dealt with riots and businesses or storefronts that went out of business because of everything going on are all now cleaned up. And when the press asked Gavin Newsom about it, he said, yeah, that's what it takes. It takes another president from a different country for them to clean up the streets of San Francisco.
You know what? I think we're gonna find these people later after Xi Jinping leave. I think they're gonna came back.
They're gonna come back to the
Yes,
streets.
but anyway, it was a good thing for the California.
Yeah.
I agree. I think if it takes one person to come and visit so the city gets clean, please visit more.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we get the shit together and put in the trash. Like really get them together.
Yeah.
Put them in
They
trash.
claim of the people, for this kind of thing happen, taking the homeless from the streets and cleaning everything, wasn't enough for the U.S. government to do that. But a Chinese dictator came to USA. Okay, now we're gonna do it.
And I think that's the important takeaway from this, Andre. Like you said, the person living in San Francisco deals with it every single day. They have to drive to work. They see hundreds of homeless people sitting out in the streets doing drugs. I mean, it's riddled. The streets are riddled with used heroin needles or drug paraphernalia all over. Like I said, human feces, piss all over. The streets are filthy. But yet a person living in San Francisco has to pay some of the highest taxes in the United States to live there, and they deal with that every day. And then it just takes one miracle visit for all of that to get swept away. And now you have a clean city. So I think it's kind of a slap in the face to not only to the people of the United States, but also a slap in the face to the residents of San Francisco.
Yeah.
The city can clean up the homeless. The city can clean up the drugs and everything else from the streets, but they won't. And they'll keep charging you tax money, tax dollars, and just be like, yeah, we'll eventually get to it someday.
It would be a shame if that thing was just temporarily, just for
It
a
will be.
visit, and the homeless all came back, and the dirtiness all came back.
I'm sure it's gonna come back.
I mean,
It will be. I mean, have you heard that story about somebody comes and visit and then they give you a cow as a gift?
just the putting the dirty,
And then
the dirty under the badges, putting
Yeah.
and they come back.
And then they give you a cow as a gift, and then you go like, very thankful because now he got this cow, but he doesn't have any place to put the cow in. So he takes the cow inside of the living room after not too many weeks. You know, the cow and shitting all over the place. It's eating the furniture, whatever. You know what I mean?
Destroying it.
Destroying everything. So 2 weeks later, the guy comes back and then he goes like, "Oh man, this cow is great, but it's just making my life miserable." And then the guy, same person, takes the cow away, and now he's great again because he's taking the cow away. So man, this guy's so great, and he took my problems away because the cow was a problem now.
Yeah.
So he gives the problem in a shape of a present, and then or of a gift, and then now he takes it away.
Yeah.
Also in the shape of a favor or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what the politicians are.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened. Overall, I think it was a visit that went as well as it could have gone. I mean, President Xi said that the two countries, United States and China, need to work together, that the world is big enough for all of the people of these countries to cooperate, to come together and be prosperous, not just one outdoing the other, but to come together and work together for a better future.
So he's basically renegotiating the tariffs. He's renegotiating.
He's kissing ass.
Do you?
That's exactly what he's doing. Exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get that American dollar. He's gunning for that.
Because Xi Jinping made a huge threat to the American dollar. He was in Brazil. He wasn't to President Lula from Brazil, trying to stipulate another currency for trade,
Yep.
international trade. So that was a big fan, and you know the Americans don't like that, at all. On the other hand, you see Xi Jinping coming here, trying to make some truce or trying to negotiate some trades or trying to get along in some way. Would you expect that? Like China is the number one commercial competitor of the USA.
Yep.
Do you have seen this coming in the years before? Do you expect that happen to Trump? I think never. It would never happen.
No.
No.
That would
in
never.
the Trump era, I don't think he would ever visit.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, and that's a great point.
I think USA changed so much.
I said it the other day, and everyone laughed. But it's a true statement. Biden, and we watched it. We watched that Cat Williams skit. Biden is Papa. 98 years old, 99 years old, 105 years old. He's an old man that forgets how to talk, forgets what to talk about, says things that everyone just goes, oh my God, why would you say that?
He read the prompt more than one time, like 3 times. Yeah.
But didn't he say that President Xi is a dictator?
Yes. To his face, in front of everyone. They were having like an after, they talked for like 4 hours at this conference in San Francisco. And then afterwards, the press was talking with him, and someone brought it up. I forget how it was brought up, but Biden goes like, yeah, I would, it's dictator Xi.
Oh my God. Are they frenemies?
Exactly.
They're frenemies.
Like, how could you be polite and bring someone over to your house and say all these nice things, and then when someone asks a question like, yeah, he's a dictator. Dictator Xi.
Welcome someone.
Because
come to my house.
Well, and that's the thing is, when you look at dictator, the word dictator, is it a positive word or is it a negative word?
It's a negative.
It's a negative. Yeah. Instantly negative.
The last 120 years has been a negative word.
Name one dictator that actually helped their people and brought prosperity to their country. Not a single one. So for Biden to be like, hey, we're having a great time. Hey, Dictator Xi is right here, guys. He's right here in the same room with me. It's like, oh my God, you old bastard. Like, come on.
I think this is for the lens, It's for the cameras.
But he's old. Why is he saying stuff?
He has to show like up that he they're not friends and everything. That what the Americans expect from him.
He's not the grandpa that think about.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, there was a dictator in Brazil that was good.
Oh yeah.
That everybody say that he was good. He was really a dictator, but it was kind of a dictatorship because he took over the power and then he stayed in power for like 16 years or something like that. Don't remember
That's
the history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and people say that he was good, and then he actually even came back and then ran for presidency and he won, and he was a president a second time, voted in.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay.
So things weird happen in Brazil.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Brazil has good stuff.
Brazil has good stuff.
Good
fruit,
cigar.
fresh fruit.
Food, people.
People I don't know. Kidding, Andre, I'm kidding. The problem is with the market as it is here in the US, you see the prices. For example, petrol prices, once Biden joined and after the pandemic, it was just like crazy. The prices went up and up, and then now it's kind of regulated itself, like $1 more per gallon than it was in the past.
Yeah.
I know there was like some sort of deal or bill that he didn't sign, something like that, and then made the prices go up. And then the price was already up for everything in the U.S. because of first the pandemic and throwing money in the economy for no reason at all. To be honest, it's a reflex from the older economic hardship that the U.S. had in 2008, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So in order to avoid that, they dumped money into the economy, which created a bigger problem. It was good for a little while, but it still was good only for houses and housing prices and renovation and equity and whatnot.
Right.
And then Trump puts the tariffs up, against the China products. What happens is the Chinese, every single company in China are either government-owned company or partially owned by the government. So what they do is it's just like
Not partially, but majority of
majority, yeah. So what they do is like they get the product manufacturing there. I don't really know. This is again tinfoil hats.
Right.
I don't believe that products that come from other countries that was previously coming from China, they're now coming from like Vietnam or
Mexico.
Yeah,
well,
that's
no,
interesting. That's
close by,
Right.
close to China.
That's interesting.
They're
Taiwan.
not Taiwan. They're not being manufactured in those countries.
No.
They're being manufactured in China. They shipped over there. They changed labels or something like that,
Yes.
and then they said it was manufactured there. I doubt it. What the U.S. government has to do to really find out if it's really being manufactured on that factory is like sending somebody there
Yeah.
and investigate, because I doubt it. It's just like it's a loophole. It's just like a workaround, and people can fake anything. It's people been faking stuff forever, and then you see,
That's business.
yeah,
That's how business is mostly ran, anyways. Faking
it's
stuff.
not mine.
No.
Yours maybe.
Yeah.
Mine,
No. And to that point, though, I mean, when I was studying business cases in college, the company who would bring over bananas and fruits from Central and South America, they actually had to pay a lawsuit because they were hiring gang members from outside of these small villages to protect the workers and protect their business, and they were basically doing a mafia operation.
Yeah.
And it took years of them doing this before
Acquiring mafia service
exactly
for running the business.
exactly. Hey, don't mess with my business. You guys go do this. That plantation over there, it's making too much money. Dole plantation used to be making more money. Go handle business over there. So they were basically doing a mafia operation from the United States in Central and South America. But the point is, eventually they got caught. Eventually, some of these companies have been doing these kind of shady transaction and business practices
Yeah.
for years.
yeah.
4 years and have yet to get caught, or I stepped down as president, I made a mistake, and I'll see you later. I'll take my $14 million bonus retirement paycheck and go live in the Bahamas. Get the out of here.
They
Come
find
on.
a way around this taxes.
Oh yeah.
Taxes product like
Oh yeah.
so easy.
Easily.
Bureaucratic stuff. They're gonna catch me? No. I run Asia. I know all my neighbors here, Vietnam and Taiwan. We have contacts where we can go around this bureaucratic thing that Trump gave to us,
Yep.
and still make a lot of money. Matter of fact, they're trying to get Taiwan like all the way
Oh yeah.
for them.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it makes any sense. It makes some sense, but it doesn't make much sense, putting the tariffs on Chinese products, because in the end of the day, it's still gonna be cheaper than manufacturing it here in the U.S.
Yeah.
The salaries here in the U.S. are much greater than anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. They would have to put like 100%. So if you're buying from China something that would cost $1, you gotta pay $2. And then if somebody's gonna sell over here, let's say for $4, on Amazon Marketplace or whatever.
Right.
And then if you make it in the US, it's still gonna have to be sold at $6. And the reason is they could sell it for $4 because they were selling for $4 before. And then they go like, well, but mine is US made, so I'm just gonna put my price up.
Right.
And I'll sell it at $6. It doesn't help anybody whatsoever. So the American population will still be paying more because of the US made product. It's just gonna put the price up. And now the American companies will start making even greater money because now they are having much more profitable business, because instead of selling for $4, something that cost them $2, right?
Yeah.
Now it still costs them $2 the same way, but they're selling it for $6. So they're making a huge amount of money. They're not passing that discount to the consumer.
No.
Because who cares about the consumer?
No.
You know what I mean? I see companies out there. I go to see customers, and then I get there. It's like, let's say they had a flood in their house and do flooring. So, and then they go like, oh, no, yeah, these guys, they came in here and they started taking the floor up and stuff. I said, hey, stop, because why are you doing that? No, because he needs to dry out and stuff. Like, okay. And then like one part of the house is clean and nice. It didn't need to do anything with it. Right? And then it's like, okay, can I get a sample to try and match this product? Yeah, for sure. Instead of getting from the damaged area, they go in the living room and cut a piece. And now the living room that had nothing to do with it, that was perfectly, in shape, the floor.
Yeah.
There is a hole in there now. I got from a house, I saw that, it's like, these company, it should go out of business because it's not correct to do that to this lady. She didn't have money to do it.
Yeah.
And then the insurance will pay, but there is a deductible.
And then you have to pay the
And
deductible.
then she won't have the $3,000 deductible. She won't.
No.
And then she's gonna have to replace the whole floor in the house. You know what I mean? And then the whole floor in the house, let's say, is gonna cost like $5,000. And now she's getting $2,000 from the insurance only, right? And then if it was just the corridor in her room, they would give her, let's say, it would cost $700 to fix or $1,000. The insurance didn't even need to touch.
Right.
Then she could go, okay, that $1,000 is cheaper than $3,000 of deductible.
Right.
And then and she would work out and then put on a credit card or something and do the floor on the corridor and the bedroom.
And her insurance.
So people don't care. They will put the price up to the consumer.
Yep.
It's businesses and negotiation is not for the faint of heart, to be honest with you. So
No, that's true.
and it's interesting to see, those two presidents wanting to talk and then wanting to negotiate some sort of deal. But what was the outcome of it? Do you know anything about it?
What I've been reading and seeing, there hasn't been too much said about the outcome of it. Mainly, from what has been said, it was just a positive meeting between the two, president and dictator, but the two heads of the different countries finally meeting. Come on, Biden. Why would you say that? But it's been very positive. I mean, President Xi said all the right things that he needed to say. Biden, I mean, he just didn't shit his pants like an old person. So, I mean, he just showed up and did his thing. So, I think it's as good as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of eased some tensions about, because I mean, there was like nuclear war talks and other things, and now I think it kind of like calmed everything down. So,
I was wondering if the middle class is a topic of conversation with President
I
Xi
doubt
Jinping.
it.
Biden's gonna talk about the middle class and their jobs back and everything.
Presidents never care about that stuff talking to other politicians. They only care about it when it's talking for re-election, when they talk people to people. Oh, I care about you. Oh, I care about you. I want to make things right. I want to do all of this. But when it's talking to other presidents, yeah, I guess I have a middle class. I don't know. I don't care about those people. They don't care. They don't care about us.
How is it going to sort out the housing prices and the mortgage rates in the U.S.?
So, and it's funny you say that, because in anticipation, correlation, we were talking about the middle class earlier, right? Housing, the affordability of a lot of things. The feds have decided that inflation is at a stagnant point of 3.6%. I don't know how they got that number, but to them, that is the inflation point, where they feel comfortable that they don't need to be continually rising rates. They're just going to hold steady for a while. With that being said, and then the anticipation of President Xi coming in, they were expecting the economy to kind of get a boost. So thinking on the back end, President Biden and all politicians, everyone already knows.
I was thinking, like, who is willing to give stuff up for the other part, because they are very antagonists in the spectrum of the global. Because one is maybe the leader of the BRICS, and the other one is a G7 kind of guy. They're opposite sides,
right?
Very opposite sides. They're coming together. Is Biden willing to give stuff up for Xi Jinping? Is Xi Jinping trying to redeem himself with America? What's going to happen? Who is going to start to walking behind? Hey, I made some mistakes back there. Can we make friends? Is that going to?
I think it's all going to be talk, but no walk. Do you know what I mean? It's all going to be talk and no walk at all. They're going to say, yeah, I promise you this, I promise you that, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, in the back end, they're not going to do it.
Right.
Pretty much like when the Chinese signed that deal, to import 8 million instead of 40. If not, the tariffs would go up. And they didn't do it. They said they would. They signed the document. So it's all talk, but
Yeah.
no wall.
I'm hoping they would shake hands and go like, the World War III is not going to happen. That would be great.
Well, and I think that was, maybe we were talking about takeaways from that meeting. I think that was one of the things, was like, we're not going to go to war with each other.
Yes.
We are too, as much as we're opposite.
But did China say that they will go to war with
No, they-
Taiwan?
No, they're not going to bring that up. They're not going to bring up their intentions with Taiwan. But they did say that and that's the most played clip of the meeting, was President Xi saying, like, we don't need to have conflicts. We don't need to have war. We don't need to have this. The earth is too big and too rich of a place for two places to be competing over having everything. We can share. We can work together. All of the same.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's great.
But how are they going to negotiate on that end over there with Russia?
Don't know.
Because they're on the same side of the
See,
the sphere.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because at least with the United States can be friends with their friends, but enemies to others. They're enemies to Russia. They're enemies to, Communist Party or something like that. China seems to be playing this role and this part of being best friends of everyone.
I think it's a
China.
Swiss China.
It's a Swiss, but I almost think they want to end up taking like a United States role, where eventually, if they can get big enough, they can be like the world police.
But they,
Oh, yeah.
in a commercial standpoint, they're in warfare. They are the most aggressive commercial. So when someone get upset, in other countries start to getting angry about it. They go, no, this is straight commercial thing. That's the way that they get it.
Right.
They
I
get
agree.
through on this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, how many developing countries are indebted to China, the government of China?
All of them.
Whoa, my God.
A lot. I mean, even the United States. The United States is indebted to China. Mexico has tons of debt. A ton of countries in Africa.
And they are in the way to get more and more countries.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a talking figure, a talking head, like, yeah, we can work together, but secretly, we're taking over the world. We're taking over all of these other populations and these governments and economies.
Yes.
So we'll see how it all plays out. But
Well, Grandpa is there to sort it out.
he's there to tell us a bedtime story and fall asleep.
So you believe then that he could potentially not be running for president because of the age? And
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I honestly hope he makes that. I think he needs to step down. He's getting too old. He really, legitimately is just getting too old. Kamala Harris, the VP, she is, I don't even know how she's trash. She's complete garbage. I mean, there's videos of her laughing about putting single parents into jail because they're, the kids can't go to school, and Tulsi Gabbard brought all of these up. There's YouTube videos, you can find it. Kamala Harris like laughing, like, yeah, I'll put him in jail.
Are the mainstream media starting to recognize that Biden might be really too old and he might be not
I think so.
healthy too?
Even I mean, obviously Fox News is going to say that because they're more right-wing political agenda, but they're mainstream media. I think some other mainstream medias are picking up on that too. They're starting to be like, President Biden is getting up there in age. He needs
even
to...
the media who's more in the weight of Democrats.
Right. They're starting to see that. They're really pushing Gavin Newsom because he's building that Chinese relationship right now.
Is the
Governor of California. We'll see what happens. But to answer your question, Hilton, yes, I do think President Biden needs to retire.
and he is moving towards that. You believe it? Oh, no.
He says he wants to run again for another 4 years. I don't know if he's just mentally or physically capable of doing another 4 years. I really don't. I never wish any ill will towards anyone, but you got to start recognizing your capabilities. If you're getting too old, you're stumbling, you're falling, you can't coherently put together a sentence, you shouldn't be the president of the United States. You shouldn't be the president of a company. You shouldn't even be the president of a bus riding club, I don't know, or book club. If you cannot...
Bus driving club.
Could you imagine? But I'm just...
Biden, the president of the bus driving club.
It's time for you to step down, Biden. That's all I'm saying.
Does the Americans think that he might had some way to President Biden prevent the wars, prevent Ukraine-Russia war, prevent Israel-Hamas war. If a good president could prevent this kind of war, or he just let it go. Because it happens. Russia, Ukraine, it's a long time. It's a war. And Hamas had this terrorist attack. It was horrendous.
That's a good point.
We talked about it a little bit before, and I think that's the leverage thing. So any great power in the world, on any war that is happening, they will try and step in. This big economy enemy, they should go and step and help the other one, because then they will get leverage. And not only that, but they also get sometimes sympathy from the rest of the world. You shouldn't let go. I mean, people say, well, but instead of spending money in the war, you should be spending money here, cleaning up the streets, helping the homeless people. But at the same time, internationally, that is a separate pot of money. You know what I mean? You dig into that separate pot of money. You don't dig into the pot of money that you're already doing for your local. It's the same as like when you go in a restaurant with some friends, and then some friends over there, or even like just people that you just met, and there could be a good prospect for businesses with you. You don't want to sound weak. I don't know how. Well, let's split this bill. You know, can I not? I mean, I only had one margarita and you had three, so I don't want to pay for yours because you had three and I had one, so it's four. I'm going to be paying two if I'm paying half. So you don't want to sound like that, because you're gonna sound weak. And so in the international market, you cannot sound weak. You cannot be weak. You have to be strong. So it doesn't matter what the government has in cash. They need to print money and go, because they have to keep up with that image from the outside world. The problems within normally don't go around too much. People are too concerned about their own problems, so they don't. The mainstream, the people don't see it. Internationally, in their talks, the table that they sit at, it's not like this table over here, the three of us. The table that they sit at is a very different table. They do different kind of negotiations. They have to keep it up. There's no way that you let it go. You gotta go and, let's say, step in and then help somebody, like the U.S. helping Israel. You gotta select a side and then go.
Yeah.
So which is the side that most people are feeling that was prejudicated, harmed the most? So that's the side that you're gonna go and help, because it's gonna be looking good at the eyes of the other people. You see what the Americans did; they're helping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what I saw is like President Trump was the president of the United States. He has a huge rivalry with China. He was saying China every day on the news. It was his main topic and everything.
The China virus.
The China virus.
They invented it. They shot it up. They put the bats in our food. China did it.
China. So what I saw is when the Biden get elected, the focus of the United States starting to shift and just go to Russia. And Russia, God knows what happened, that Russia had to start a war, a real war against the Ukraine. And suddenly all the focus was in Russia. They putting sanctions in Russia and putting attention, putting $1 billion in, and making NATO go in a war, like putting more money for Ukraine and everything. And the tension with China was decreasing, like slowly decreasing.
China didn't start anything.
He was out of focus. He was out of news. He was out of agenda. And suddenly now they're friends. Yeah. They're officially friends. So that would happen with Biden. So is that good? Is that bad? I don't really know.
Yeah.
So
only time will tell with that.
Yes.
Well, to be honest, only time will tell for anything. If whatever decision, let's say this decision right now, so every choice it's a loss. So if you choose something, you're gonna be losing something else. So, and that's why there's a lot of what ifs in the world. So what if Second World War was won by such and such? It goes like that. You have what ifs. It could have been better. It could have been worse, and we don't know because it didn't happen, right?
Right.
So the what ifs do exist, and that situation
is a what if.
Exactly. It is what it is right now. So now they're friends, and if they're just like, okay, so they came in here and they say, no, we are going to be friends, and we're going to start a war. Would that be a good thing? Would that be a bad thing?
Is that
Only time would have
Would tell.
You know,
Would
only
tell.
time would tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think the military in China is a lot stronger and more disciplined than Russia. Remember how all of the talks were like the United States obviously has the most advanced military in the world, and then it was China, and then Russia was right there, right? Russia has, very crazy military soldiers. And how can one small country of Ukraine beat military invasions and hold themselves against a Russian
It
army?
was not good for Russia.
It was not good. And
It's
that's-
proof that it was not good.
It's
proved.
It's proof that they're not as
We're
strong.
not guessing. We're not guessing.
They're not as strong as much as we place them up on
Yeah.
that ranking.
No, somebody.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, when you think of like the biggest countries with the strongest military presence, you think obviously the United States because we have bases in everywhere. China because they've showed their force of like, okay, we've got millions of foot soldiers and highly advanced, military weapons, etc. And then there's the next that comes to mind is Russia.
Yeah, obviously.
I guess you could say NATO countries, but I never put them up.
I think it might be the problem of the moral, because the Russian World War, they don't really feel like they should kill that person. What his neighbors done to us.
Well, and that was a lot of the news that was happening in Russia was, these mothers and family members like begging the Russian government like, send my kids home. Like, we don't know what we're doing in Ukraine. And even a lot of the Russian soldiers were like making TikTok videos or sending videos and being like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't want to be here.
Yes.
Ukraine, I have no problems. I think in the world that we live in with constant communication, where Hilton, Andre, if you guys go to Brazil, I could call you up on my phone and talk to you. We have that connection. The United States is a very interesting, and anymore the world now is a very interesting place because it's a melting pot. You don't just have pure Americans anymore.
Yeah.
Like you did 100 years ago, or even more so before. You don't have pure Brazilians, you don't have pure Russians, you don't have you have immigrants, you have people from all over these different places, so that, hey, I live in America now, but now my family, just as an example, my family in Russia, they're going to war with Ukraine. I don't agree with that. I think that's ridiculous. Why can't we all be friends? So the perspective of war and conflict has changed. Nobody wants it because there's Chinese Americans here in China or in the United States. There's Americans in China. If there was a war between us, people would be like, well, but I like this American, or I like this, I like
was
this
wondering,
Chinese.
a Nazi soldier watched a clip of a victim of Holocaust. They go like, yeah, I wouldn't have done this. I'm going to do this anymore. They would probably give it up.
Well, nowadays you would hope that they would,
Give it up.
They would give it up. Yeah. People are still going to hold on to like their weird old beliefs, but I think that's starting to get kind of pushed out in society of like, hey, we're all together in this. We all need to work together. Doesn't matter your color, your religion, whatever. We're all on this planet. We all need to work together. And I think that starts with communication.
I think what you just said, all of that there, is that everybody will have at least some percentage in their DNA of Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Especially
think,
the Asians.
I think
The Chinese, Genghis Khan.
Yeah. I think like what, 60 or 70% of his DNA is
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, percentage in the world. So if everybody's kind of mating with everybody, so they're gonna be all relatives.
It all comes back to Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're gonna be all relatives very, very soon. Let's say another 30 years.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna give it 30 years.
Are we doing the battle of the logo?
So I think I'm gonna leave the battle of the logo. I'm gonna leave you guys.
Why?
I don't know nothing about football. I'm gonna leave.
You won't.
stay there.
Sit here.
Camera is gonna
Andre.
pick
Come
up you anyways.
on. It's fine. The game currently happening right now.
Oh, we can actually watch it. Okay, I'm gonna go Ravens because it's a bird. I have a bird on my background, as you can see, because this is a bird supporting podcast.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Ravens.
I'm gonna have to. I think it's a sweep because Dylan, who is unfortunately not here, he did provide his picks of the week, and he happened to pick the
Ravens.
birds.
The birds. Mm.
The birds. So it's
He's a bird
the
supporter.
Ravens all across the board.
He wants to win alone and make my cover.
Yeah. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina.
Really? We have to
Panthers.
pick Cowboys.
That's easy.
Very easy. Very Good
Yeah,
point.
Cowboys.
Interesting enough, Dylan didn't pick his Cowboys.
Oh my
he picked
God.
the Panthers.
He's spiting the team.
He's spiting his
He's
team.
going with the
Oh,
Panthers.
no, wait, I misread that. No, he did pick the Cowboys.
Oh, it's a second text. It's a second text.
Oh, he's going to have a heart attack watching this. He'll be like, I am never leaving again and leaving Conrad up to this. But he did spite this team. So the next one, Steelers at Browns.
I'm going with the Johnsons.
You're going with the Johnsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steelers.
Steelers? Okay. Good solid pick. So Dylan, his quarterback was the quarterback from the Browns, Deshaun Watson.
Oh, no, the fantasy?
Yes, on fantasy football. And Deshaun Watson has been horrendous, and now he has a broken shoulder and will be out for the rest of the year. So, in spite of him, Dylan has picked the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Johnsons.
the Johnsons, and I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to pick the Steelers
Oh,
also.
this is going to be a sweep week.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is going to be a sweep week.
Steelers.
Steelers across the board. Next, Bears at the Lions.
I'm a Leo, so...
Bears. I'm going with the Bears.
I'm Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your thought logic on that?
I was fan of a running back that was really famous up there.
Walter Payton?
I don't remember his name right now.
I'm
the
gonna,
Bears?
I'm going to Lions.
I don't know if he might be from the Lions. Barry Sanders.
He's from the Lions.
I'll go for the Lions.
Okay, all right.
I'll go trade.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be a sweep.
Next, it is the Los Angeles Lightning Bolt at the Green Bay Packers.
I will go first because the logo there, and this is the bottom of the logo. And I have to say that the Packers logo and the people's team is better.
Packers
So I'm
for me
going-
too.
I'm going Packers.
Ooh, I think this is going to be the first divided game.
Packers
Yeah.
for me.
All right. Okay, so 2 for the Packers. Dylan is going to go with the Chargers, as well as I. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
You
You
guys
guys
see
are-
the numbers there.
You guys are overthinking again.
I go with the team of the people.
The surprise upset of last week was that the Cardinals beat the Falcons, which nobody picked that correct. But it is the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans, who, Hilton,
Mm.
they beat the Cincinnati Bengals, which are a great team. This Texans team is really good.
Shaping up good.
It's shaping up to be a good team.
He's going against the bird, though. The Angry Bird.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Baseball bird, too.
I don't know. I think the Cardinals is just not a good team. And I'm in Texas. I'm going to go with the Texans.
All right.
With Adam Wainwright.
Adam Wainwright.
Yeah.
Who's
a
that?
Baseball pitcher for the Cardinals.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, man, you pulled out a...
Yeah.
That's so good. Man, Andre, he always surprises me with some of his knowledge around here. All right. So you're going to go with the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Okay. All right. Dylan and I are going to pick with the Texans.
Dylan picking the Texans?
I know.
Really?
Yeah. 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 I might text him and be like, "Are you okay? Are you feeling well? Are you second guessing your Cowboys, but you're picking the Texans?
Take a rest. Take
Come on.
Sleep over.
Yeah. Text us tomorrow. We'll edit this. All right. Next, it is the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville
Land Rover.
Land Rovers.
I'm going last on this one. I'm going to let you guys talk a little bit.
I'm going to go for the Jaguars because what is for? You got a great name and a great logo, but you guys not playing well. I'm going for the Jaguars.
Jaguars are playing well. They lost last week. They lost last week, but
They're playing.
But what do I know? What do I know? This might be the game where they decide to put up 100 points and just beat the heck out of the Jaguars.
Jaguars,
You
okay.
never know.
100 points you only score in fantasy football.
This could be a fantasy game, or just once in a million. You never know.
Who are you picking?
I said I'm gonna pick the Jaguars.
And Dylan as well.
And Dylan's picking the Jaguars too.
Well, I'm going with the Land Rovers because I've been picking the Land Rovers every week.
Ever since,
Yeah, probably.
So Andre, are you the only Titans?
I'm going to the Jaguars.
All right. Oh man, it's a sweep week.
So sweep again. It's a sweep week.
It's a sweep week. All right. Las Vegas.
Las Vegas and
The Dolphins.
I vote San Marino.
So Dolphins.
I'm gonna go and fins up. Sweep again.
I gotta show some knowledge to protect myself.
Well, and I gotta check again. Yep. So Dylan picked the Dolphins.
You're gonna pick Las Vegas.
I'm gonna go Raiders. They won last week, and I think
They're on the path.
this might kick me in the ass.
Dolphins is coming from a bye week.
true.
So they're being resting.
What the heck, Hilton? How did you know that? Where are you coming from on this?
Remember
knowledge?
that. I have some memory.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, yes, you're absolutely correct. So they might be well rested and playing very well, or they might be playing very, very slow and sluggish. You never know.
Because they ate too much.
Yeah, they partied too hard in Miami for a week, 2 weeks. So, okay. Moving on. The New York Giants it's the letters, Battle of the Letters. NY at W.
I go to Commanders all the way.
Yeah, Commanders, man. The Commanders.
The Commanders. Yep, it's a sweep. Commanders across the board.
So are we going to score any point this week? Because so many go sweep and we all got it wrong.
I think it's just one or two. Yeah, one or two games we differ on. Buccaneers at the 49ers.
Going for the San Francisco 69ers.
It's a clean city now.
Yeah.
You can do that in the street, so I'm going to go 69ers also. Same with Dylan.
Buccaneers. It's a good name.
Don't be picky. Come on.
Man. I don't like that 49ers logo, but I'm going to pick the 49ers.
Okay, we influenced you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Another sweep week. Okay. The New York Jets at the terrible letdown team of the year, the Buffalo Bills, you bastards.
Well put it.
Jesus.
I think New York Jets going to make like 12 field goals in this game.
Do you
They'll
want
be
to
like, 12
do you want to
plus
send a message
3.
to the Bills?
Listen, you sons of bitches. Motherfuckers. I purposely I picked you because the Denver Broncos are
You lost
dog
money.
shit. Denver Broncos are dog shit. You shit the bed. You
Spite them.
assholes.
You have to spite them this week.
Oh, I hope every single player... No, I can't say that. I hope somebody gets hurt. I hope somebody breaks a pinky toe. Son of a bitch. I'm going to go New York Jets.
I'm going to go Jets.
Andre?
Jets?
And Dylan picked the Bills. So,
All right.
Oh my God. Dylan went that way? Oh my God. I don't believe this.
He obviously didn't listen to what I said last week.
Dylan is overthinking.
Seahawks at the Los Angeles Lakers.
It's a bird!
And it's my bird.
And it's your bird.
It's my bird.
Did you want to send a message to your birds?
You guys played well last week. Came out with a win. Proud of you. Keep it up. Hawks all the way.
I'm going to Seahawks. And please, this game, don't surprise me. I don't want that. I want a normal game with a win. Okay? I'm done with that.
Couldn't have said it better. Could not have said that better. My gosh.
And Dylan's picking the Rams?
Surprisingly enough,
No.
he picked the Seahawks.
How come? Yeah, I went Seahawks, so yeah, it's a sweep again.
Oh
It's
my
a sweep
God.
again?
Yeah.
It's a sweep
Look
again?
who is there.
So
Look who is
no.
there.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Look who is there.
apparently Broncos doesn't suck that much.
I think the Broncos watch the movie of Braveheart and win the game.
I don't think they.
They need to if they're going to play the Vikings. They need to play.
I was in a restaurant having lunch. It was a little late lunch because it was a birthday of a friend, and they were playing, and I was like, "Oh, the Bills are winning, easy." So my pick went fine. But apparently, Broncos, you don't suck that much.
No.
But I'm a Viking, because look, I'm a Viking.
There you go. Going with the Vikings. Andre?
I'm going with the Broncos. I'm tired of a letdown.
All right.
If the Broncos lost, I won't be that sad. So I'm going with the Broncos. They might win.
Dylan picked the Vikings. And on the same thought that you have, I have said so much shit and so many bad things about the Broncos
You have to redeem yourself.
that I'm going to have to redeem myself. But I'm going to pick the Broncos, and I hope that they lose. So it's a little bit of reverse psychology, inception,
Oh my God.
enigma.
What is this guy
within
doing?
an
But then you're gonna score less points than
I don't care. I don't care.
And
As long as-
I'm the logo guy. I'm gonna beat you in football.
As long as the
You're
Broncos
just
lose,
managing his mood. You
Yeah.
don't care
as
about
long as the Broncos lose, I can
It's
go
all
to
good.
sleep like a baby.
Like a video. So you're taking the Broncos. Are you sure?
Yes.
Let
yes,
me tell
I
you
am.
a story about the Broncos.
Tell me a story about these Broncos.
The Broncos apparently, according to some very knowledgeable people on the internet, sucks.
Okay. Okay.
After that information, you still
Serious
wanna
person
pick the
who done
Broncos?
research and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the Broncos sucks. So,
Okay.
Next one.
it is a bird. I'm going
Wow.
for the bird.
This is
Every
gonna
time I
be.
see it.
This is like final, right?
Yes.
What's the name of the final?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
This was the Super Bowl last year.
And the Chiefs won.
Yes. The Chiefs won.
So I'm picking the bird. A bird supporting
Eagle.
podcaster.
Dylan picked the Eagles as well.
Okay.
Andre, sorry, what was your pick?
Eagles. He's tempting to pick the Chiefs. I can feel it.
Since I picked the Broncos and I hope that they all break their leg, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs and redeem myself and get a.
You want to win alone.
I want to win. Yeah, I want to win against my heart. I got to think logically to get some points back up on the board.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Sound good.
Right.
But it could go literally. This game could go either way. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it's like the Super Bowl. The last year's Super Bowl was
Exciting.
phenomenal.
I think the Broncos and Bill was a really good game. If you guys think about it, it was a good game.
It was a really good game. I
Wow.
watched it.
20 seconds. Just everything just.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, trust me.
Oh my God.
I was like, I hate watching it, but I loved watching it because I ended up like, yeah, the Broncos.
I mean, they had the last
it.
field goal. And like, they went like they missed the field goal. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna be a normal person again.
Yeah.
They got like, no, it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was a flagrant. No?
Yep. There was a
He-
penalty on it.
He
Yeah.
hit the goal.
Had to do it again.
Oh, I'm confused again. Broncos won. So
But hey,
that's
that's
life.
that's battle of the logo.
The better of the logo
Wow.
always trick you up.
Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Let us know your picks. Picks
Yes.
of the week. If you're very passionate and adamant that the Broncos suck as much as I am.
Or based on the picks that you have seen, what would you normally have done?
If you have watched this video until now, if you live in Texas, give us a call. You might be with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Come and join the podcast.
Smoke a cigar.
Sound like a good, interesting, setup in there. So
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.